And welcome to the GameDev Compo Studio on Assembly TV. Hey, I got it right. I didn't call it Demo Scene TV this time. I will be your host for this. I'm Sir Garbage Truck, Demo Scener. Some of you may be wondering, why is a Demo Scener leading the GameDev thing? Well, because we all play games and we all enjoy them. Here we have a panel of folks who may or may not have any sort of jobs in the game dev industry. Actually, they all do, and I'm rather jealous because I don't work in the game dev industry. From that end, we have Viking, and then next to him we have Metal God, and then next to him we have Tim the Enchanter, and then finally Mr. Piggy. I will be referring to these folks as this because I can't remember their names, because they're not handles. Initial take on the entire compo. Did you enjoy it? Did you think it sucked? Did you want to go home?
It was definitely awesome. I mean, really nice games. Lots of multiplayer games as well. It was pretty cool. I got to try them out before starting, or coming here and seeing them actually. So it was nice.
Cool. Did anybody else get a chance to try them? I did not.
I had the chance to try a couple of them. Of course, too bad most of them were just for PC, and my platform, at least on computer, is Mac OS X. So I got to try a couple of them. So all in all, now that I saw them on the big screen, so some really nice gimmicks and nice tricks on a couple of them. So maybe we'll go deeper in them later on.
Yeah, like Oculus. I didn't have a chance to try that all, like in the coffee lunch break when I was trying out the games. But that was cool to see on the screen.
Yeah, apparently we can all test the Oculus Rift game, just not leave the seat and go up and do it. But if anybody can get that Oculus Rift thing down here, that'd be really cool. Viking.
Yeah.
What did you think?
I liked it a lot. They were pretty cool games for being so short notice or short time, but I would like to see them more and try them out. I didn't get time to try all of them, but it would be nice to do it, especially the Oculus Rift game would be nice to try.
All right. I suppose we'll just step through each one of the games and see. We spent some time watching all the things and made some comments there. I hope we can get some of the good comments we had in the stairway or the arena. The first one is a game I cannot pronounce properly. Which, thank you. Does somebody want to explain the plot of this game? Because not everybody watching, because there are some folks from outside of Finland who are watching, and they probably have no idea why anybody would have had a game, which we'll try to get on the screen back here, but we may not be able to, of throwing sticks at other sticks.
Well, there might be a game called something similar to this, made by maybe someone else. That's why it's called Porspakka, but apparently it's something that you do in the summer cottage a lot when after taking a few drinks.
Right.
Yeah. So basically, trying to hit a bunch of logs, basically put together, and you get points depending on how you hit them. So very, very straightforward, and it was like nice to see someone try to get it done on a computer, because it's a really physical game.
It's one of these that if you've never played it, you probably won't understand it. But yeah, it's a traditional Finnish game, like horseshoes in the U.S. or I don't know, what do they normally play in Sweden? It's like this.
I would compare it with Kub in Sweden, but it's very similar. But then also there's plenty of people and plenty of drinks in it too. So I don't know. But I actually didn't know this game before I tried it on the video in the game or so, and I had no idea what I was doing. It was just random sticks. But
so when you were trying, did you like?
Yeah, I managed.
It seemed to be some kind of skill factor.
Yeah,
also with the mouse.
well, I sucked at it, to be honest. But then again, I'm not a pro Finnish pölkki player. But I guess after some years here, I probably will be.
but it's not played with mouse either, so only summer cottage. So.
But this version was kind of funny because it actually like required you to push the mouse quite a lot, which again was a bit of a problem. I was playing this in work, so kind of like you got, hey! So that's a nice portion to get some of the physicality and you know, a bit uncomfortable, but nice try.
Moving on to the next, Rogue Resistance by Kayak Games. This was the RPG shooter thing, which I'll try to get the screenshot so that we can see it. Maybe we can also get that for everybody else, and I'm going to fail miserably at this. Yes, I'm failing. So we will stop watching Truck fail. Hat sponsored by, oh, I don't know, Rovio or somebody. We'll put that there. They asked that we mention them at least once. Probably makes you a bit happy, Mr. Piggy here.
I guess so.
Rogue Resistance. What did you think, Mr. Piggy?
It looked like a nice like take on the dual stick shooter. So especially, I didn't get really like what it was all about, and there were some humans running around. I guess they were something that you had to save or something like that. I don't know, but the one thing that I really liked in that take was the destroyable like surroundings or environment. So that it seemed to bring something additional to the game. So it looked kind of like nice. What do you think?
It reminded me a bit of another game that I think it's called Teleglitch. The way that it was, if you blew a part of the wall out, then you could see beyond it. And I haven't had a chance to play Teleglitch yet, but it looked really cool. And that had that portion in it too. And I didn't get to play it because, again, it's Windows, and well, that means I can't play it unless I boot to Windows, which I will not do. So, Tim the Enchanter, any takes on this?
Yeah, well, obviously I played it without reading instructions because reading instruction is the wrong way to start doing anything. So I did kind of like get a bit confused since the people who I was supposed to save kind of like were like swarming on me, and I spent like a few minutes of just trying to zap them to Kingdom Come. But like hearing now that it's actually about defending the people kind of like made some bits a bit more clear.
So perhaps a bit more instruction in the game.
Well, a bit less hostile people. Because it would be like, running towards so it's out of the zombies. But no, actually, they were like, I guess, right. I didn't know, they were looking for shelter or something.
Metal God, anything?
I mean, I agree with Tim. Were you Enchantress or Enchanter?
You know, pick one.
Yeah, it was a bit disjointing at first. You're seeing the characters running towards you and thinking like, are these hostiles or what's going on? Maybe a little chat bubble that says like help, help or something, you know, sound or something. I don't know. I guess you weren't supposed to shoot them. I was shooting them a lot in the beginning and seeing like minus 100 my points. And I'm like, what am I doing wrong? But yeah, don't read the manual. That's the number one tip.
Yeah, I was shooting everything. I didn't know what to shoot and what to do, but as you said, I like the destructible environment.
Yeah, and also like the seeing like how there's these like view areas that you can see, and like kind of like having to zigzag to see everything.
It was a nice extra touch to everything.
Yeah,
it made the game pretty cool.
I will say that I would like to play it and hopefully can get it to work on my machine. I want it back by future devs. We had several comments about the atmosphere for this. It starts with quite a bit of atmosphere, and then we're not sure what that has to do with the rest of the game. Any comments from anyone else? Or else I'll just talk about the darn thing.
No, I thought that this was like one of the coolest ones, like just like gameplay-wise. Because I basically, again, without reading instructions, I kind of like got the thing.
Yeah.
You know, 2 characters moved with 1 controller, you know. And for some bizarre reason, jumping over like the dustbins and whatnot, and then failing miserably if one of them is too late, so I didn't get why, but I got what to do. That was cool.
Yes.
And I saw the cinematic now, or kind of like the story bit here as well, so I got a bit more of the atmosphere with that.
I'm not sure I can connect the atmosphere with like you said, the jumping over things. But on the other hand, well, it had some background. And like I said, maybe that was something, either a game jam or a themed compo originally, and that's what they came up with, and there you go. Having atmosphere helps to develop a game mechanic a little bit further, at least I think so, when I'm trying to work on something. Anyone else with a comment about the game?
I think this was again one of those that has kind of like solid basis that you've seen already somewhere else, and bringing something additional to the game. So here, like having basic runner in a way, but then having actually have the two characters that you have like controlled by yourself at the same time, both of them. So I think that was a nice twist.
Not sure how much time we have for the whole thing, so we may come back to this. We'll move on to Specimen by somebody whose name I'm not even going to try to pronounce. I apologize. I am still very bad at pronouncing Finnish. But I think it's Pimiu. And I think, based on the screenshot, this is the one that was extremely dark.
And you know what Pimio means?
No. What does it
Dark
mean?
room.
Dark room. Well, there we go. Ladies and gentlemen, Truck's Finnish word for the day. So that makes sense why it was so dark. I'm not sure about any other parts of the game. Metal God, your take.
Yeah, I think I like the atmosphere in this. There, as we just spoke on the previous game as well, there are a few games here that really pushed home the atmosphere thing. There was some nice music and stuff going on. I don't remember the music especially from this one, but I mean the graphics and stuff, it was like special time was put into those, and it's really hard to make a third-person action adventure, so that was quite a task from these guys. I don't know how many are in the team, but yeah, I mean it seemed atmospheric and stuff, and I guess the story was that you're some kind of test subject that's escaping from some demonic gnome army, or I don't know, but
Did you make that up just now?
yes. But yeah, I mean, it was interesting.
I think someone was saying that when they tried playing it, they were unable to escape the first door. Was that correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm a bad 3D person player.
Right.
I didn't manage to get far on it, unfortunately. But I would like to have more time to fix it up. Now I played it because it was really interesting, and it kind of got me wonder what was more with it. And so I would like to, or I'm gonna try it more after this.
We have 10 more minutes to go, so we'll move a little bit faster. Team Flying Blind MAD, 4-player twin stick arena madness shooter. Did anybody get to try this? Because I think we said beforehand, none of us had 4 controllers.
Or even one.
Or even, yeah.
But this was definitely one of the games that I could see like spending an evening with, and with a couple of friends, and like that hexagon arena destroying, changing all the time, and then having these short skirmish battles with your friends, and just like spending the evening. That would be like.
And it seemed like a fast-paced, like rapid all the time, and always changing. So I agree with you. They would be awesome to see this.
It looks polished. I mean, like the screen interface elements and all that, like pretty cool.
And there was all the upgrade paths and everything like that for the mech. So
yeah, there was a lot of depth. There were 2 of these games that had like the 4-player thing going on, and that can be a lot of fun. I mean, if you just go really crazy with it, the Super Smash Bros. Type of just no one knows what's really happening, but fun nights out with friends.
I will be trying to get some people to actually play that one. I think we will be doing that over some beverages. Cube Horizon by Kamos. There were several comments you guys had about this. In fact, I think we had the most comment on this and the game mechanics. We could go on for a long time, and since we've only got like 8 minutes now, and we have a couple more games, make it quick, but I'd really like folks to hear what you had to say about it.
Interesting. I would say interesting, really interesting. I liked it.
Yeah, this had atmosphere as well. I mean, but the mechanics is just, it blows everything in your face, right? Immediately you have to, all the different turning mechanics and everything that you have, it's kind of hard to sort of get your bearings and figure out what am I doing here. The stuff is the things that you're hunting, the little orbs, they're hidden underground, so you can't really see them and stuff. I mean, more like slowly, gradually expose the player to these different things, and maybe don't have all the axis rotations immediately at the beginning and stuff like that. It might help out.
This one's my favorite, actually.
Yeah, this was really interesting to play, but I was also lost at the controls. It was that was really nice to play, but like immediately when you had levels that you had to like hunt through all the different accesses, you kind of got lost because I think this is a game that you need to play for a couple of hours to kind of like get into the controls, and it might help, like you said, that if they were introduced slowly, or if some part of the game would be automatic, like the running of the person, because that was what I had problems with, like controlling the character and then controlling different accesses in the world. So it was quite overwhelming.
But for me, this was pretty much the one that was like furthest down the path of almost like appearing like a real indie game. I mean, it needs lots of helpers, and it was hardcore, and you got confused, but still, like, you know, there's almost a real game there. It's really cool for me.
Just tweak, and
Based on what everybody has said here, I really think that one could be, just with a little bit more polish, put out there as a complete game. Not that the rest of them can't, just that this one is the closest. Roboto, we had some comments about that one and how cool it was that the game mechanic was to pick up your own stuff, but again, a little confusing. I think that was the consensus.
Yeah, this had a good atmosphere as well, but I think it was the one with the different parts that you had the legs and separate. It's sort of like if there's no UI element that tells you like which part I'm picking up right now, it was kind of hard to sort of understand like, wait, which one is this replacing? Because you can only have one of each part at a time, sort of. So I don't know, I sort of got lost a bit, and then it was pretty dark at times as well.
Really
So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they just told me that we still have 10 minutes. I'm not sure. Okay, then we have another 10 minutes, so we don't have to rush as much. We'll move on, though, and we'll possibly come back to this one a little bit more. Reclone, the one that was shown in the competition last, I believe. Top-down shooter, customizable maps.
Yeah, that looked cool.
yeah, that customizing part looked really nice. But the problem testing this one was that I didn't have others to play in the network, because this is just like multiplayer game that you really have to have friends to play with in the same local area network. So basically.
And it didn't have a server either. It didn't rely on the server code. It was just a local area network. I find that interesting because in years past we have had several games where the gameplay got held back because they were implementing the server-side architecture. And because they went with local area network only, they were able to concentrate on gameplay. And I think that's a good thing from the perspective of a competition like this.
And basically, I think this was the other one, like we were actually discussing, like this compared to the arena arena battle one. So might be that the levels here were like too big.
Yeah, they seem very huge and very big, but I still like the idea that they had those two, and especially the customizable, like you could switch the different levels. That was really neat. I liked it a lot.
Yeah, it made a good impression seeing like the whole sliding map moving around.
That's probably like really good game to play here at Assembly. So
Probably, hopefully some guys out there and some gals are trying it out right now before they vote. Next up is our Oculus Rift experiment. I hope everyone watching knows what an Oculus Rift is. Basically, it's a 3D a virtual reality helmet. I don't think we've had a 3D game in the past in one of these compos. And, well...
at least one that you would control with the virtual reality helmet.
Especially the way that you were controlling it. And I think he did an excellent job of capturing how the game was played by filming himself playing it. But your comments?
I liked it. I thought it was really cool. It was like a really neat idea, especially because you were, as I understand, you were supposed to duck and like evade branches and dangling stuff. And I really like that. And I can imagine with those glasses on, it's going to be really cool to try to switch and move your head and everything around.
I think that was the first thing when the first 3D movies came out and you dodged everything that came at you. That's what this thing is, you know? Yeah,
it's going to be cool, unless you have like a big desk and bash your head to it. That would be horrifying.
Yeah, it's like need a lot of like moving space. So bang your head to the wall.
It may need to have a Nintendo Wii type disclaimer placed at the beginning of it, but
It's really cool to see like one of the first games that seems to have some gameplay in addition. I didn't get a chance to play this earlier on, and the video started. I thought like, what's the gimmick? But it's actually like full body movement and kind of like creepy, immersive branch avoiding gameplay. So
I also, I mean, it's, you know, I kind of like rail shooters because, you know, you're going along and you don't have to worry about where you move, and then you just concentrate on killing the things that are on the screen. But this type of thing, when you have no control over your speed, and I'm assuming that you move faster as it goes along.
It seemed to be that way,
That it's going to be one of those things where you and your friends will compete. Okay, I went 1,000 meters. Well, I went 1,500. This type of thing. Really cool. I'm hoping to see more stuff like this for the Oculus Rift. And now that I've seen this one, I want one. Sci-Venture by Matti Ruupunen. Experience the bizarre journey through the hunting game where the content is randomly generated. I don't think the screenshot for this one shows what we saw on the screen.
No, but it was the Space Invader type.
Lots of different modes,
Yeah, I like that
it
one.
had the cool twist, like in the beginning and end.
I expected it to be a balloon forever, and then I was turning into a spaceship. That was.
And the landing thing off the.
Yeah. You didn't expect to have something like that to happen. It was really neat. I liked it.
Yes, it had really nice like retro graphics and also like those surprising different game modes. At least probably the first time surprising game modes. Probably not on the second time anymore. But yeah, I think it was really nice like put together like.
And especially now when you say the retro graphic, I like that a lot. I mean, I like that kind of stuff.
And it sounds also
makes me happy.
Yeah, I think this was also one of the nice ones that there's like regular, very well-known game mechanic there at the bottom, and then there's a couple of twists on top of it. So like,
it looked pretty polished. Especially like funny to see the screenshot over there versus what was actually in the game. So like, you know,
not a particularly becoming screenshot there. Ardeo, the first stage, and this one also suffers from the screenshot. All I can remember is Dark, and we've already visited the Dark Room game. So which was this one?
Was this the racing?
Yeah, I think it was the racing game.
Yeah.
That screenshot doesn't even look like the game. Okay, well, this was a racing game. I guess you were a racing skate or something?
Sci-fi buggy or something, like tunnels and stuff. Looked the part.
Yeah.
It was pretty fancy looking.
I guess it was updated from the version that we got to play earlier, though. I mean, this had like those little zap things that it made your cart or car go faster or something like that. The camera angle was a bit too low in a way that you don't see the street that much in front of you. I mean, especially for this one where there are like sudden turns and stuff like that, it'd be really good to sort of see more of what's going on.
Pristine mode. That was cool, though.
I'm being asked to wrap it up, which is unfortunate because we've just skipped over some games that we actually wanted to comment on. But I want to at least bring up the assembly simulator because it's really cool. Anybody else with comments on it? Because I just think it's really cool.
Anyone who's been to assembly will just love that stuff. I mean, the sound effects are awesome. Jumping, I could just listen to that the whole day, pressing spacebar.
Basically, you get the whole assembly experience by playing that game.
But there was really gameplay as well. I didn't find out when I was playing it earlier what the flashlight was for.
But now you saw it.
Now I saw it. I mean, there's, you know, you're a man on a mission or a woman on a mission. Right. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Those of you who haven't been to assembly, this is an approximation. The flashlight is for waking people up or getting people's attention who are not following the rules, which is you must turn off all audio and lights during the demo competitions or during the other competitions. And when people don't do that, well, you could hear in the game, as well as hear live, people screaming all sorts of interesting profanity at those folks. I have not actually heard that we have 30 seconds to go, but I'm going to just run down here. Let's just make comments about the how you felt about the thing as a last-minute comment, and we'll see if that takes us out.
All in all, a few really interesting games that polishing a bit, you could get like really good, cool and indie games out of. So I think there's makings of maybe even hits there. Like if there's just time spent on polishing it and done. So I think from that perspective, the bar was pretty high. So there are like a couple of contenders that I think are going to be like trying to get to the first place, and they will have like good competitors in their way. So
I would agree. Do you agree?
Yeah, 16 games. Pretty much all of them had an idea. Some of the ideas were perhaps like interesting, but ideas and a surprising amount of polish in quite a few of them. So pretty cool to see them like in this kind of format.
Yes. Agreed.
Yeah, definitely some good games. Actually, what probably turned out to be my personal favorite, we didn't have time to check into, but this sort of bullet hell shooter thing that was going on. Yes. Can't remember the name right now. It was one word.
Bring it up here. It was
Skiori.
Yes.
Yeah. That was pretty cool, except, yeah, dodging all the other bullets was kind of a chore. Didn't really see what was going on, but it looked really nice, and it was kind of fun to play. So, but like all in all, yeah, it was really cool and some really interesting games. Flamia as well, which we didn't really get into, had some really nice. That would fit perfectly for an iPhone. It was a bit too hard. Could have some tutorials there or something, but sort of ramp up the difficulty again. But it was an interesting game as well.
Goal for the game also.
Yeah, definitely.
Like the reason why we're doing it. Yeah. Are you trying to get points, or how do you get forward?
Are you feeding? Or are you trying to kill the babies? Yeah. 1 minute to go.
Yeah, surprising how many good games there were. I was glad to see them all. My personal favorite is probably Mad, the hexagonal arena battle fight. I'm definitely gonna try to find it for free now and download it and play with my friends on a Friday night or something.
All of these are available at, there's a link available on the Assembly website. Unfortunately, I don't have it in front of me. Oh wait, yes I do, but it's way too long.
It's in the news on the front
It's
page.
in the news on the front page. So if you go to the assembly.org webpage right now, you can go and find all of these games, download them. If you have OS X or Linux, then you're probably going to have to run them under Wine emulation. Hopefully they work. And yeah, I thought it was an excellent compo. I didn't see any games that were of the, well, okay, there were a few that were not quite as polished as maybe you'd want, but none of them were in the spectacular idea that didn't go anywhere. And with that, I think that will bring our Compo Studio to a close. Please go and test the games out, try them out, and give the authors feedback about how you felt about the game. And you authors, I hope that this provided you with some incentive to continue to work on the games, because they all looked really cool. For Assembly TV, Assembly Summer 2003, I'm Sir Garbage Truck. This is the game panel, and we wish you good evening, and we'll see you tomorrow.